Check your clocks. What's up, Italian timers? Let's do some translations from English to Italian. I always believe that translating is a great way to practice your grammar and just practice what you've learned. Let's get started. Number 1, I usually get up at 8 and I take a shower. So this sentence is just in the simple present. So let's start with usually. Di solito. Get up in Italian is alzarsi. So if we're talking about I, we have to make that mi and then conjugate alzare, which is alzo. There are many videos on this channel about reflexive verbs. Check those out if you don't understand alzarsi. Usually I get up alle otto. So this le means like at the 8. And it's plural and feminine because hours is plural and feminine. 8 hours. At alle otto, and I take a shower, e faccio una doccia. So in Italian they say do a shower. So di solito mi alzo alle 8 e faccio una doccia. Bene. Let's go to number 2. I like it because it's new. So mi piace. Do you need to repeat this object here? No. You actually, this is the subject in this sentence. So this thing, me, pleases. It pleases me. But in Italian, you do not need subject. So we're just going to say mi piace. Because, perché, it is new, è nuovo. And again, it is new. I actually don't need a subject here either. So I'm just going to say perché è nuovo. In Italian, you don't really need subjects unless you're emphasizing or differentiating something. So mi piace perché è nuovo. Maybe people already know what we're referring to. Number 3, id with a conditional. Be easier to do it than explain it. So it would be, we don't need the subject, and let's say sarebbe, because this is that conditional tense. Sarebbe easier. There's no word for easier, so we have to say more easy. Sarebbe più facile to do. That's infinitive, so let's add farlo. This lo represents the it. It's easier to do it than explain it. Spiegarlo. Okay? So the comparisons in Italian can be tricky at times. Usually it's di, but when you have the two things right next to each other at the end of a sentence, like he's a better writer than runner, you just use che. Number 4, if it were easy, everyone would do it. Okay, so this is again a conditional. It's a hypothetical and it's the second. Okay, so if it were easy, se era, no. If it were, that congiuntivo conditional is going to be fosse. If it's first person or second person, fossi. But it, third person, so fosse. Se fosse facile, tutti, everyone, would do it. So now we have to do a would do it, okay? So fare, how do you conjugate that? If it's I, it's fare. If it's you, it's faresti. You kind of have to memorize these conjugations, unfortunately, in Italian for the conditional. For they, because it's third person plural, it's everyone, so it's they. Farebbero, okay? So se fosse facile, tutti farebbero it. Can you put the pronoun it, the object, at the end of the sentence like that? No. You have to put it right up here. Tutti lo farebbero. So we have subject, object, verb. Italian is a very flexible language, but you cannot put pronoun objects such as lo, li, le, me. You cannot put those at the end of a sentence. It has to be before the verb. Number 5. How old do you think he is? So remember, Italians don't say how old, they say how many years. So quanti anni. Now we have to immediately add do you think. Luckily in Italian, when you ask a question, you don't need any auxiliary verbs or something like that. So we're just going to say you think, pensi, che. So how old do you think that he is? Lui, or he has. How many years does he have? Lui ha. This sentence is definitely understandable and almost acceptable. The thing is, this pensare triggers the congiuntivo in Italian, okay? So what's the congiuntivo of a? It's actually abbia. So quanti anni pensi che lui abbia? And that's a good sentence. Number 6, the last two are the most difficult. In a situation like that, what should she have done? This past conditional should is difficult. Let's start easy. In una situazione like that, you could say così, or you could also say of that genre. That's what Italians like to use, del genere. In una situazione del genere, cosa, what should she have done? So this is complicated. I won't get too into it, but it's avrebbe dovuto fare. So to say she should have done, it's avrebbe dovuto fare. If it's what would she have done, it's just avrebbe fatto. When you add this should or could, you add in this extra word. So avrebbe potuto, she could have. Avrebbe dovuto, she should have. And then the following verb becomes infinitive, fare, to do. So that's obviously difficult. If you got that, nice. Last one. You said you'd help me, but you've been sitting there for an hour. Again, this has some difficult verb tenses. Let's start easy. You said, hai detto che. So this che, Italians will put it in English. We don't say it as much. Hai detto che you would help me. So this time the pronoun object is me. And yes, let's put it up at the front. Mi avresti aiutato. So this literally translates to you would have helped me, which is not the exact same translation. But in this future, in the past verb tense, they use the past conditional. Avresti aiutato, not just aiuteresti, okay? So hai detto, in the past, that in the future, mi avresti aiutato. But you've been sitting there for an hour. So this is a verb tense that does not exist in Italian, this present perfect continuous tense. So here I would just say, sei seduto lì. Sorry. For an hour, from an hour, they say, da un'ora. Hai detto che mi avresti aiutato, ma sei seduto lì da un'ora. You are sat there from an hour. These type of sentences, these present perfect translations are difficult. In English, especially, Italians have a lot of difficulty with that, but in Italian, it's a little bit easier. Sometimes they could even use present tense. In this case, I'll say, sei seduto lì, you're sat there from an hour. This magic da is always good in present perfect type sentences. For an hour, da un'ora. So that's it. So I hope you guys are learning as always and enjoy. I hope you enjoyed. So let's stop right there and I'll catch you guys next time, okay? Bye-bye. Peace.